I'm 5 minutes late to my only job. To be 5 minutes late to your only gig is kind of embarrassing, huh? Because I mean, at this point, it's like anybody who was here at 9 p.m., like they're long gone. You know, they were like, we gave this Joker 5 whole minutes, and he couldn't even show up for that. Oh my god, I wouldn't show up for me either at that point. CORNHUB, how are we feeling tonight? I'm not feeling too hot, to be honest. I feel like that every single headline I read today was like the worst thing I've ever read in my life. Especially when I read about Trump literally getting rid of the executive order from 1965. Yeah, CORNHUB is back, Jinx. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Sorry. Good evening, Junior. I was just talking to myself. I was saying how I can't believe I was 5 minutes late to y'all because I was been looking forward to this stream. Today beat me to a pulp. Junior, is there a reason for that? Y'all press F in the chat for Junior because today beat her to a pulp, apparently. Dude, that sucks, man. Today also kind of beat me to a pulp as well. Oh, thank you, Sleepyhead. Thank you, Eccentric Dreams. Really appreciate that, guys. B Howdy. Oh, yeah, I'll show. Yeah, Howdy's actually right here. Here, let me show you. Come here, boy. Yep. We already got a Howdy appearance on the stream. Boy, look over here. Do you see this ball? He does not give a fuck about this ball, actually. Oh, hold on, guys. I ruined the ball for him. Hold on. There we go, boy. Guys, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Today was pretty rough. Let me see. Jinx says, "How long have you had Howdy?" I've had Howdy since he was a little baby man. Since he was like 8 weeks old or something like that. Yeah, I've had him since he could fit on my chest. But now he thinks he can fit on my chest, but he cannot fit on my chest, though he loves to think so. Can y'all hear me okay? I'm trying to experiment with talking away from the mic. That way I don't have it like up against my fucking throat like I'm at a Burger King drive-thru. Like, can I take your order, please? Y'all, can you let me know though? For real. If I'm over here, can y'all hear me? I'm so self-conscious about that because I know good audio is quality. Yeah. I think that the worst thing that I read today from a headline perspective was probably that Trump got rid of the executive order from 65 about equal employment. That was probably the worst one. Because when I read that, I was like, oh, got it. Right. Like he's actually going to do a lot of shit this time. Like he did not just lie in wait like some kind of like, delusional dragon over the last 4 years. Like, no, Jonah Ellis says equal employment gone, but not forgotten. That feels a little soon, huh? That feels a little bit like building Lego towers on September 12th. You know what I mean? Like, But ultimately, one of the things that actually really got in the way of me being able to enjoy my life was all of the headlines I read today from organizations like Rolling Stone and HuffPost that were like, the pastor that called Trump out to his face said she's not going to apologize. Boom! And it's like, bro, she's on a list now, guys. Like, you think Trump gives a fuck about it? You think Trump's sitting in the Oval Office, like, caring at all about this woman who won't apologize to him? He's literally just calling her a fucking bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what even is this? Like, the resurgence of lib resistance this early, I think, has been one of the most disheartening forms of I don't even know what I would call it, like degradation of public discourse I could imagine. Because it's like, who is this even for? I said on my TikTok today that if you're making takes that would make Stephen Colbert or John Oliver or Don Lemon go, ooh, then like you're done. You lost. Junior says, as a woman, I'm really scared. If he's truly under the foot of Christian nationalists, I don't know what to expect for my future. We're already losing so much. Yeah, I wish I could say anything other than I agree with you, Junior, because like truly, Trump is just like in the best possible position now because of the fact that, he got away with it. Like he got away with everything that he was afraid of, like not getting away with. He's not going to go to any level of prison. He's not even going to see the inside of a courtroom again until he's never going to see the inside of a courtroom again. And now his whole job is just to sign the orders that all his handlers told him to sign, which that includes techno autocrats and then includes Christian nationalists. Like it's definitely going to get a little bit intense for sure. Guys, I have a question real quick. This is so off topic. what are you guys all watching this on your phones for the most part, or are you guys watching this like on your computers? I asked just because I really really wonder about how easy it is to engage in YouTube lives like from both, because I don't really watch YouTube live on any device. Like I'm just on YouTube. That way you guys can already are always know where to find me. Junior says your TikTok today really resonated with me. I'm so fucking sick of the "I told you so's." Where's the action? I told you so means Jack. We know he's a hypocrite and a liar. What are we to do about it? No, for real, Junior. Because it's like all the people who have made their own sort of brand over the last like 8 years over just being like, shut up, Cheeto head. It's like, all right, well, he's gonna hang you from the White House lawn. So, like, good job, I guess. I guess your tombstone could be really funny. I guess your tombstone could be a tweet or something. I don't know. Jonah L says, I'm on my laptop coincidentally, but usually phone. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Emily 12 says, for the worst thing was him ordering health agencies like the FDA, CDC, and NIH to pause communications with the public. They are not allowed to do anything. Holy shit. Is that true? The FDA, CDC, and NIH can't say anything to the public unless their communications are approved? That is actually insane. Holy fuck, dude. Emily 12 says, watching on TV and using my phone for the chat. Wow, I'm like just my big face is just like on your TV screen. That's kind of crazy. I feel like that can't be very sightly. You could have like a fireplace going or like a flower field or something, but you just have like my fucking mug. That's kind of crazy. My receding hairline ass face. Let me see here. Junior says, fuck around and find out. We are going into detention. No. Oh my God. So real. Junior says, yes, it is. And we're on the cusp of a bird flu epidemic in the South. That is insanity, dude. In case you guys do not know what Junior is talking about for any reason, the United States effectively has let a bird flu pandemic run absolutely wild through different fowl stocks all over the country. And the only answer they have is to cull the herds that are found, or the flocks, I'm sorry, that have been found to have it, as well as any herds of mammals that happen to have the bird flu virus, the H5N1 as well. But the problem is that like this is not a complete response. There are a variety of other methods that could have been involved, such as allowing regulators to literally go onto lands that like are susceptible to getting those kinds of infections, or go onto the lands of where flocks are. I'm sorry, that are susceptible to getting those kinds of infections, and doing kind of preliminary screening on the birds, like on a regular basis, to make sure that the infections can't spread, and then kind of like pre-culling them. But they're not letting that happen. They're letting it get to the point where there's like hundreds or thousands of birds that get sick, and then they kill all of them. So super good. And of course, in that time, like humans are handling it and things like that. And it's really great. I feel so confident that we're gonna be able to get through this next decade without another pandemic. Knock on wood. Not that that's gonna do anything. Island Frizz says that's true. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Emily. Junior says yes. Sorry. Jonah L says Panopticon, Cornopticon. Well, Jonah L, I've been calling this broadcast CORNHUB, but I think Cornopticon might honestly be my next Wait, actually, guys, I want to see something. Hold on. I'm gonna go to GoDaddy real quick. I want to see if Cornopticon as a site. Cornopticon.com. I want to see if Cornopticon.com is like a domain I can buy right now, because that's a funny ass name to have as a website. Jinx says, I've gotten so infuriated by the lib dunking ever since they memed his response to Hurricane Maria. Like, cool. I finally had family die because of it, but good tweet. No, for dude, for real though. Like the people who make Trump's impotence and ineptitude a meme, like, blow my mind. It's like, dude, he controls the nuclear football. Like, what about him is funny to you at this point? You know what I mean? Like, when he was walking down the golden escalator, I think that was like the one time where unironically it was genuinely just funny and a good joke to have about him. But I think the moment that he became a serious contender, other than one moment on the Republican debate stage in 2016, after a Republican debate where I'm sure you guys all remember this. It's one of the funniest things that's ever happened in American politics. He was talking to a crowd, and Trump says, he's talking about Marco Rubio, and he says he was up there just panting like a dog, and he was like, I need water, help me. And then he grabbed a little water bottle with two hands, and then he went, and then he flicked the water onto the crowd like he was a fucking priest. He said, "It's Rubio," and he just started flicking them. That was actually really funny. That was memeable for sure. But everything else though, totally unnecessary. Um, oh my god, cornopticon.com is $12. Y'all, if I should do this, please drop a corn in the chat. If I should buy cornopticon.com to host all of my links. I think I should. But I want the chat to validate my bad decision making. What do you guys think? Okay, hell yeah, we got some corns. Oh, nice, nice. We got some corns in here for sure. Um, Zoom says, "Who did what? What are we talking about?" Yeah, wait. Uh, oh my god, Junior, when did Trump come in his pants? I don't remember that at all. Did Trump jizz in his pants? Um, I just don't remember him doing that. I mean, like, there could have been some instance where he did. Oh, Junior says not actually. Oh my god, we have a misinformation spreader in the chat. That's really too bad. I could have believed it. I mean, Trump did some remarkably dumb and weak shit his entire first 4 years. So I would totally have believed that. Junior says, but he was moaning. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's unfortunate because I say that there's like nothing that's worth memeing about Trump. In reality, really, I think what I mean is that like none of his hypocrisy and none of his like being a fucking terrible human being is worth memeing, but some of his moments during his presidency were just genuinely very funny. I think that my favorite moment while he was president was when he was at a rally. And I forget what the context was, but he was like listing off politicians. I think they had named him. Sorry, they had wronged him. And he just said very, very plainly into the mic, Obama. And I mean, I was saying Obama to myself, as like kind of a vocal stim for like a good 18 months after that, because it's just so fucking funny. Um, I've held on my channel for a while, y'all, that Trump's biggest problem is that he took himself too seriously. If Trump had simply understood that his best talent was being funny, and if in 2016, and I want y'all's opinion on this, if in 2016, if Trump had instead decided to run as a character named Donald Trump, the exact same guy, same life story and everything, but it's a character. He says that it is a fake person. It's just a fake version of him, but the fake version of him that is running for president. If Trump had decided to act as that character and still get all the airtime he could while being like a troll candidate that didn't actually have any place on the like place on the national stage, and he just said all the same shit, literally did not pull any punches at all, was just there to be like a grotesque malformation of American politics, but just like as a character, like a Stephen Colbert, effectively. I very seriously believe that Trump would have actually gotten everything he wanted in his life. Because I think he would have had the same adoration from people, the same legitimization from some people. I think people would have actually been like, no, like, even though he's a character, like Trump actually like is saying shit that we all believe. And then I think also he would have been invited to the debates. And the reason I say this is because I think Trump is a savvy enough business guy in one way, which is that I think that his team would have said, oh yeah, we got to get Trump to host presidential debates where he's like debating people like he's actually running for president. But I think he could have actually gotten real political candidates to come join him for those debates. And I think that this would have come to a head because I think that he would have gotten the same star power he had almost, but he would have had people like Hillary Clinton fucking join him like as a fake debate. And I think he could have still said the lines that he said in 2016. I think he could have still literally looked at Hillary Clinton and then said, because you'd be in jail. But like she would laugh at it because she would want to be she would want to be like in on the joke. You know what I mean? And then after the election happens in 2016, you know what else he could have done? He could have literally had an anti-democratic like second wave of the joke where he's like the shadow president and he said they stole the election from me, but it's all like a big joke. You know what I mean? And people would have yucked it up. People like Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, they all would have fucking invited him on the show to talk about how the election got stolen from him. You know what I mean? Like he would have literally gotten everything he wanted, but instead he took himself too seriously. And what happened? He ultimately became president and was reviled by a lot of the country. But I really mean what I say though, man. I think that he actually would have been loved by Democrats and Republicans alike because he would have just been seen as like sticking it to the man of being like, you know, a sort of like every man's vision of a politician and a rich man. Let me see. Junior says that makes more sense since he's a reality TV star at TBH. Yeah, exactly. Jonah L says Trump stopped joking in 2020 and it's cost us the world. Dude, for real. Junior says the issue is that he wants it all for real. I mean, yeah, at the very least, he wants something. You know, he wants something that's more than just him being a laughing stock, which is unfortunate because he like definitely has the stamina to be like a really funny guy for sure. Some of the people who I know in my life who have met Donald Trump have told me that he's actually like a very, very affable dude to talk to. He's just like kind of uncanny to talk to now, especially because of the fact that like you know that you're talking to Obama. Obama. Sorry, I was reading Obama. Because you know that you're talking to Donald Trump. Let me see here. Jinx says, because of how the 2015 campaigns went, it's why I maintain that honestly, the journalists sold us out, to be honest. Yeah, man. I mean, like the journalists are continuing to sell us out, Jinx. Like right now, like I was saying at the beginning of this chat, like what I find so despicable are that so many journalists are sitting over here and they're just like, that pastor that Trump like got told off to his face from, she's not apologizing to him at all. You know, she's sticking to his guns. And it's like Junior said earlier in the chat, like we're all talking about like, fuck around, find out. And like meanwhile, he's putting us all on fucking deportation lists, right? Like Nanami says, right. I always said he would be hilarious if he wasn't lunatic. No, for real, dude. Like he actually would be a fucking cultural icon in America, beloved by every single person if he had done what I'm talking about. I so believe that. In an alternate universe, Trump is looked at with the same level of like cultural weight as somebody like maybe not like I don't think like Dave Chappelle. I don't know actually. I was gonna say maybe not like Dave Chappelle, but like honestly, with how fucking insanely stupid American politics has been, maybe somebody close to that, maybe like a step or two below a Chappelle, because like you know people have gotten really agitated in the last 10 years. So like I honestly could weirdly see it. Junior says he's genuinely funny sometimes. Yeah, Ron DeSanctimonious is like hilarious. Like that's just a funny ass name, but not funnier than the best nickname he ever gave a politician, which was Meatball Ron, Little Meatball. Like that shit is so good. Oh my god. Jonas Ellis says now more than ever. Yeah, for real. Good God underscore says I think part of the reason why he won it is because he's so funny. People thought he was a joke and no one took him as seriously as they should have. Yeah, I mean like it's definitely unfortunate because like we're all saying in here, right? Like there are just some things that Trump has said over the last few years that like are just genuinely funny. They're just genuinely like funny shit for a person to say, politician, president, or not. Jinx says he'd be Stephen Colbert report era Stephen Colbert. I know, but unfortunately, Stephen Colbert now is a coward who sold out. So there is that. I mean, honestly, I look at people like Stephen Colbert as kind of being complicit in the whole like standing up of Cheeto Mussolini and like clapback lives. You know what I mean? Because like the Late Show for all of Trump's first term was basically one big clapback, and like that sucked. You know, that did nothing for anybody. Jinx says the problem with Ron DeSanctimonious is that he needs the problem with Ron DeSanctimonious is that he needs a personality transplant, and those are not yet available. I know it's so good. Jonah L says in Donald Trump post, the woke left without saying goodbye. Mm. I mean, Trump has so many fucking like banger quotes like that. Honestly, my favorite quote from Trump that he ever said was on the 2015, the 2016 campaign trail, where he was talking about nuclear power, and he's trying to tell the audience about how his uncle John Trump at MIT understood the power of nuclear like nobody else did. And I love that just because like it's one long run-on sentence, and it like it. I honestly believe that if you want to practice doing a Donald Trump impression, you have to just read that quote over and over again because, like, weirdly, you will end up kind of falling into his cadence of talking because there's no other way to read that quote than how he would read it. I mean that so seriously. But I don't know, man. Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next year. Even I won't even say 4 years because the problem with saying 4 years with a guy like Trump is that the administration is so temperamental and everything is moving so lightning fast right now that like the style of governance that he could actually oversee can change radically between now and the summer. I'm actually really terrified for the summer, to be honest. Jinx says my favorite honestly was just him going wrong during the debates with Clinton. Yeah, I mean that shit is pretty peak, honestly. But you know, again, like one of the things I think we should have learned from watching Hillary Clinton flounder after, like, especially in the wake of losing the election, right, is that like it doesn't matter how like right you are and how like well you can box him in on how stupid his logic is. Like the facts are that like if if it sounds funny, like most people are going to remember that over you explaining things to him. This is why candidates like Elizabeth Warren suck, right? Because like, I mean, not that Elizabeth Warren as a person sucks. I mean, she seems like a very, very like principled person, but more so that like her ability to be president, I think, is very minimized by the fact that she is a technocrat. She wants to explain everything. She has a policy for everything, right? She has a binder of policies, and like most Americans just don't think that way. They don't vote that way. Jinx says literally Vivek didn't even make it into the office. Yeah, I saw a TikTok today, Jinx, that was really funny, where the person was like, "Hey, listen, this is like just a Vivek Ramaswamy. If you're not Vivek Ramaswamy, like keep scrolling. Tokens get spent, huh?" And that was the whole TikTok, and that shit did kind of crack me up. Chloe Cat said it's like what SNL did with Bush, played by Will Ferrell, making him look like a silly little goofball with his strategy. I mean, yeah, but like, oh man, I'm not gonna say that it's like any different really, because I know you're correct, Chloe. But for some reason, it feels different to me. But I think that's probably just because I was younger when SNL was over here with like memeing Will Ferrell into being like a sort of like Bush avatar. Junior says, speaking of Ron DeSantis, in my first year of college, I was going to a football game with my friends when they began to speak about politics. They both wanted Ron DeSantis as president. Junior, why was that? Why did they want Ron DeSantis as president? I can't imagine wanting that guy as president at all. Jinx says, or sorry, Junior. Jinx says, how old are you, Cornhub? I am 26. I'm about to be 27 though here in like a couple weeks. Junior says, you tell me, bro. No, dude, like I'm actually serious though. What on earth could they have wanted out of Ron DeSantis that we're just gonna get out of Trump? You know, did they just think that Ron DeSantis was like more approachable or something to the average American? Because like that's just like not even true. Chloe Cat says, well, I'm 33, so I'm old. That's not old at all. Jonah L says, do you have any strong thoughts on the future of the DNC? I legitimately think that the DNC as a political apparatus, like what actually wields power, is kind of done. I just don't see the way forward for them at this point. Like, it's been made very apparent to me that the DNC values seniority above all else, Jonah. And unfortunately, that means that when they have good talent that could rise above and actually like start taking the reins in the party, they stymie them and they kneecap the shit out of them at every turn. And in fact, what they do is that they bully and browbeat the young talent who's actually moving the party forward to the point of making them vote for legislation that otherwise kills their ability to relate to their own constituents in the House, especially. And then they don't reward them for it. So I don't know what kind of political party can even exist out of that, because like you can't at that point tell a prospective person who would run for your party that it's worth it, right? Because like all that's going to happen is that they're going to get kind of like thrown around like for no reward. So I mean, I would say it's kind of done. Junior says, I have no clue why people would want Ron DeSantis, why they would want Ron DeSantis, honestly. I live in the reddest state of all. They're both Christian. Wait, do you live in like Mississippi or something? Like, because Mississippi is like the reddest state, right? They're both Christian. They are probably factors as DeSantis fronts as a Christian with Christian anti-woke policy. Junior, did you ever show them that clip, that your friends that said this? Did you ever show them that clip where Ron DeSantis actually says the word woke like 19 times in like 30 seconds or something like wild like that, or like 19 times in a minute? Because that's one of my favorite clips in all of American politics ever. Jonah L says, real unfortunate, dude, for real. Jinx says, do you think the Democrats might go the way of the Whig party? Yeah, dude, 100% I do. That's exactly what I think is happening right now. I think that they are actually mirroring what the Whigs did, like down to a T in the late 1890s, where they just like are running losing platform after losing platform after losing platform, and they keep running the same fucking guys over and over again on the national level, even though the people who are actually in charge of electing them have moved past their ideology substantially and are looking for something much more radical. Because like that is the case now, right? Like people on the whole are looking for more radical politics. Junior says from Oklahoma, dude, hell yeah, brother. We love some Okies in here. Give it up to Woody Guthrie and also to the Sooners. And also OKC. I love that place. Astrid F says it's so embarrassing. I know, dude. It is so embarrassing. Especially because like there's no vision. Like Joe Biden said on the debate stage in 2020, I am the Democratic Party. And then he proceeded to have no fucking vision for carrying the party past his own grave. Like, so I guess like truly he is the Democratic Party. Like probably when Joe Biden dies, like the Democratic Party will kind of just die underneath him. Not officially, not like they'll disband, but like their ability to think in any way other than these weird platitudes that go nowhere probably dies, you know? Yeah, dude, it sucks so much. Oh my God. First name bunch of numbers says love a Woody Guthrie reference. Dude, for real, man. I love Woody Guthrie so much. Y'all, do you guys know that Woody Guthrie wrote like 3,000 songs in his lifetime? Isn't that wild? Like 3,000. Also, Woody Guthrie, he was on a merchant marine ship performing for the USO during World War II. and he had been performing on the deck. This is a story I just read the other day. He had been performing on the deck, and this was an integrated ship, right? There were integrated classes of sailors that were on this ship, and when he was there, after he had gotten done performing, the like mates of the ship told him to come down to this one place where they had prepared food for him and the other performers. And he noticed that, and he said, "Yeah, you're gonna come eat with us and the other soldiers." But what he got through notice was that only like white sailors were like going below deck to go eat. And he was like, "Well, what the fuck? Like, well, like this is an integrated ship. Like, there were black people in my audience. Why aren't they coming down to eat with us?" And the people on the who were prepared the food for him said, "Well, it's an integrated ship. Like, there are black cooks in like black kitchen. Like, you know, like we're like you're a performer. Like, we're not gonna have them eat with you." And then Woody Guthrie said apparently something to the effect of like hell we're not. What are you talking about? Like, we are absolutely all going to eat together, or I'm not, or I'm just gonna go eat with the black sailors. Like, I'm not gonna eat with a bunch of like white supremacists who are making me eat with only white people. And he caused such a commotion that he apparently went over to I believe the story goes that he like went into the room preemptively and basically like rattled the table and like rattled dishes off of it to make a bigger commotion, and they didn't let him eat with them instead. So he ended up eating only with the black sailors. And he said something to the effect of integration's got to start right here, right now. And then he apparently just yelled that as they like tracked him over to like the black side of the ship, which is just like such a sick story. Love that dude to death. I'm sure I got like a detail or two in there wrong, but like I think I have like all the right strokes in there. Junior says the vision of the party is retaining power until the fascists win. That it's theirs, I guess. But then like, what do they even have? You know? Excuse me. Jetmore says been trying to detox from all of this shit while not losing my mind. Any tips? I would say the only thing that I would recommend doing is getting out of your house as often as possible, and also finding people around you if you have any like close friends or even just any acquaintances, and finding something to do together, and talking about the stuff that you like. That's probably what I would do. Jonah L says the Whigs were only trumped by a civil war. Yeah, dude, it's so real. Junior says Woody Guthrie W. Big Woody Guthrie W. Big one. Big one. I mean, Woody Guthrie was such a special soul, man. His parents were Okies. He was an Okie. And then he like was so committed to promoting folk music. And he knew that the only place that he could do that was out in California or over in New York. So, I mean, this is not a great thing that he did, but he like left his wife and his kids like in Oklahoma until he could make enough money for them to all move into a house together because he didn't want them to all live in an apartment. And like, yeah, he's just such a dope person, man. He was a hell of a guy. When Woody Guthrie died, I know that Pete Seeger, who is like one of my big idols, he was very, very sad about it because Woody Guthrie died sometime in the 60s. And Pete Seeger lived until 2014. And up until like Pete Seeger's last like 5 years of life, he was like while he would give interviews, you know, he would like always mention Woody Guthrie. It was very clear that he missed him until he died, which I think is really, really beautiful. Junior says, despite being so red, Oklahoma actually has hella leftist history. Yeah, dude, no kidding. No kidding, man. I mean, the fact that like the Okies basically got left out to dry for the entire Dust Bowl and they all had to kind of like remake their own economic future. I mean, I think that probably lends a lot of solidarity to the labor causes that were all springing up around the 30s. You know, it's the same thing as how like, you know, for as red as West Virginia is, like West Virginia has some of the most leftist history in the entire United States, you know? Dude, one of the other crazy stories I read recently about Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger, I thought this chat would like, was that in the 60s they were doing some concert up in upstate New York for a strike. It was for I swear it was for like a dam workers strike or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was for a very large labor strike though. And Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger had driven up in separate cars from where they were living in New York City up to upstate New York. And when they got there, they were met by a shit ton of Klansmen who all were trying to like bar people from like going and supporting the strikers, but they like got through the line. But they performed this concert, and this specifically what they had performed was like a bunch of folk songs, and they had invited these black folk singers to come up on the stage with them, and that's why the Klansmen were there. And so they perform this concert, they get off the stage of the concert, and it just turns into an immediate violent riot. The Klansmen like start breaching the lines into the concert goers and just start like violently beating the shit out of people. Not that you could do that not violently, but they just start beating the shit out of people. And the way that Pete Seeger tells the story is that he and his wife and his kid get into a car and start driving away. And his wife is driving, and Pete Seeger's like holding a shirt over the back windshield of this car. That way that because he knew that they were going to start throwing things at the car. And lo and behold, the Klansman throws a brick through Pete Seeger's back windshield and it shatters the whole windshield, and like his shirt just catches the shards. But he said that he like last saw Woody Guthrie basically just like shielding these like black folk musicians like with his body and getting them into a van. He said that like he had no idea what happened to Woody Guthrie until they both just ended up back in New York like a couple days later. I think it's just a wild story. Jonah L says organizers I talked to are actively talking to Appalachians and trying to coordinate efforts. They're extremely receptive when you don't say socialism. Hell yeah, they are, brother. That's fucking awesome. Jonah L, I can tell you for sure that after talking to a fair number of Appalachian organizers through my platform on TikTok, those people they know who's fucking them for the most part. You know what I mean? Like they whether it's the organizers themselves or the people that they support in their community, nobody is nobody is under any pretense for the most part anyway that like big business specifically is there to help them. I don't really think that's run into all that often. Jinx says Jonah L, almost everyone is. Hell yeah, brother. First name bunch of numbers says make country music anti-cop again. Hell yeah, brother. Brother Junior says R.I.P. John Preem. Yeah. Jonah L says Junior, I feel like we have no choice. Participation is an obligation to me, dude. Hell yeah. Jant Moore says wow, that's sick as fuck. I know, dude. I mean, there are so many stories that Pete Seeger has been able to tell because he died when he was like in his like mid 90s. There's so many stories that he's gotten to tell about his life during the 50s and 60s. Well, actually from the 30s all the way through the 60s, which is when he was like at the peak of his career. And I mean, dude, it's just so crazy to me to know that like guys like that were really out there, just like constantly talking about civil rights, constantly on the line, on the picket lines, providing entertainment to strikers, providing entertainment to civil rights leaders, willing to go to jail, being overtly political with their music, not backing away from it, even when they were threatened with the law. Shit's awesome. Junior says they also don't tend to love the word environmentalism, but they know they're the ones primarily being screwed by the onslaught of destruction from corporations. Yeah, dude, that's damn straight, man. Man, this chat has been really lively. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all give yourself some corns for keeping the chat alive. I really appreciate that. Jonah L says on civil rights, I doubt that the MLK and JFK files are coming out. Oh, you don't think that Trump's going to do that? Why not? Why don't you think Trump? you don't think that Trump's gonna Trump's gonna release those files? You're such a cynic. You're such a cynic, Jonah L. Why don't you think they're gonna release this? No, of course I know why. Jinx says it's why Fred Hampton was so effective, and it's why one of the three-letter organizations gave him their highest award. Yeah. And certainly we will see that too here as well. I mean, like, in the United States, not that I would place this person on the same pedestal as like Fred Hampton, but Steve Donziger being jailed by ExxonMobil, I think is like one of the biggest examples of how capital will always align itself with the most evil ways against people who are just trying to protect other people, because in Fred Hampton's case, Fred Hampton was trying to make sure that people in Chicago could be cared for and then try to carry that message of care outside of where he was able to do the most good. In Steve Donziger's case, he was just trying to give legal representation to indigenous people who had been fucked over by explorative missions by oil and gas companies. And oh no, it's Chevron, not ExxonMobil. I'm sorry. And in Stephen Donziger's case, he got jailed. Like Chevron was literally able to file injunction after him to the point where he actually got imprisoned by court order from a corporation. And he served like 100 or 200 days in jail before he got let out. You know what I mean? But he was on the hook potentially for years if he had not had a vociferous enough legal defense come to his aid, which is fucking terrifying, man. Because I'm telling you, man, that kind of corporate power that is going to go so much further under Trump. It's going to be insane. Jant Moore says, I don't even know why Trump would say that. Oh, you know why, just to stir up conspiracy theorists. Junior says he's just saying shit. No, for real. Jant Moore says, as per usual. No, so true. Junior says, do you align yourself with any specific economic theory or system? I probably would align myself most closely with something akin to like anarcho-syndicalism, Junior, because I do believe that at a certain size, organizations become too unaccountable and they become too incentivized with too many actors to work against the interests of a society. Which is why I think that organizations need to be incentivized or regulated to be so small that there's kind of like an infinite number of firms that are always competing for the most like modest amount of profit you can imagine. That's probably something that I would align myself with. It's a good question though. Oh man, guys, I'm going to give us 6 more minutes because I actually want to be off at 9:45 tonight. But I appreciate you guys sticking around for it. With that in mind, I do have a question. Anybody have any questions for me? Anybody have any commentary? Anybody have anything they want to talk about tonight? Because if not, I'm just gonna tell you guys about some of the crazier shit that I read today. But I want to give the chat first go at telling me what to talk about because you guys are my boss. How do you guys feel being my boss? Do you guys think I deserve a big wet kiss or a big hard spank now that you're my employers? Junior says thoughts on the AI funding. I know you write about it. I think that unfortunately Elon Musk is kind of right about this in that I think that there's not even there is not even close to the amount of funding already allocated for that that Trump is saying there is, and I think that it's going to be very embarrassing because SoftBank, in order to even find close to that amount of that 100 billion in first round funding, they would basically have to sell off their stake in companies like ARM, and I just don't think that's going to happen. Let me see here. Astrid says, I'm intentionally shut everything out for today. So true. Jonah L says, you haven't submitted your daily Orange Man bad tweet. You'll be fined $1 trillion. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jonah L. JJ the Jequel says, why not both? Good point, JJ the Jequel. Which would you rather give me first? Lightning Black says, what do you think is the goal of the tariffs since they could crash the economy? That's the goal, buddy. The goal of the tariffs is literally to make it very, very cheap for capitalists to buy up tons and tons of assets. That's the whole point of them. Jake says, big kiss on the forehead for Corn Boss. Thank you so much. Ash Wednesday says, have you heard of techno feudalism? Have I heard of it? We're living in it, you know? Of course I've heard of it. In reality of what you're asking though, Ash Wednesday, is that like, do I think that we're living under techno feudalism? Absolutely. Absolutely, I think that we are living under techno feudalism. I think that we've been living under techno feudalism since honestly, probably since like advertising based social media became the norm. I think that's like the moment that we officially like kind of became fiefs of our own. Sorry, I think that we became serfs of our own data. Lightning Black says, when do you get super chats? I don't know what that is. Junior says, favorite philosopher. I think we'll see a big comeback in existentialism and absurdism literature. I think it's probably true. My favorite philosopher is Spinoza. And the reason for that is because I actually believe in Spinozism. I really do believe that like everything is God. And I think that Spinoza had a very interesting way of trying to prove that mathematically. Jinx says, do you have any favorite novelists or playwrights? Favorite novelists or playwrights? That's a really good question. Well, I probably my favorite novelist is like Dave Eggers, to be honest, because I do really really love Dave Eggers a lot. I also love Hassan Khamenei too. I think that he's fantastic. I like Richard Bach, but Richard Bach is kind of like a novelist. Yeah, so those are probably some of my favorites. Let me see. Lightning Black says super chats are like Twitch donos. I don't know, man. I was here. I was Lightning Black, and I was like, when is this chat gonna start giving me some money? No, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not thinking that. I'm just happy to talk to you guys. I don't know. Let me look it up. When do you get super chats? When do I get super chats in YouTube? Let me see here. I have to have 1,000 subscribers, and I also have to have 4,000 public watch hours, and I have to be part of YouTube's partner program, and I have to have an AdSense account. So I don't think for a long time, Lightning Black. Jamore says he has to. Oh, okay. Jinx says you should read Mr. Burns, a post-electric play by Anne Washburn. I think you. Okay, hold on. Let me look that up right now. Mr. Burns, a post-electric play by Anne Washburn. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. This was written in 2012? Oh, nice. Dude, love that shit so much. Oh my god, it was premiered in DC. That's so awesome. Dude, that's fantastic. Yeah, I will definitely give that a read. Thank you so much for the recommendation. I love stuff like that. You guys know that I wrote a one-act play, right? Did you guys know that? Did I tell this chat that? Janet Moore says it's both. I forgot. It's an extremely confusing system that took me a while to understand. I know it sucks. Jing says DC is a huge theater hub and premieres a lot of OG plays. I know. Eccentric Dream says no, do tell. Eccentric Dreams. I wrote a one-act play called Deduction, and Deduction is about the story of a guy who is helping his boss, who is a healthcare executive, and then slowly realizes that the only way that his his boss will be able to kind of see the light on how unethical that their work is to ultimately kill them. And the one act is about like his journey from going from realizing that like his boss is more than just like an evil capitalist, to realizing that she's like not redeemable. But I actually have the entire script, and I was gonna post it on my Substack. 'Cause I had filmed the first six scenes of it. Um, and it's very funny because after I filmed the first six scenes, I was like, oh my god, like I don't want to film the rest of it. This is what's the word? So much time. It takes so much time to do it. Let me see here. Jonah L says you should edit bits from your pod if you have time. I think they'd go crazy on TikTok. I bet you that they would go crazy on TikTok. I actually I should probably clip my I yes, you're probably right about that. Jinx. Oh, or sorry, Jonah, I should probably clip my CORNHUB here. Eccentric Dream says, "Oh hell yeah." Janwar says, "Wait, drop it. This sounds so interesting." Junior says, "Hell yeah, brother." Janwar says, "But yeah, it does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of time to film, you know. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles." All right, everybody, we're in our last minute. So, any last things you want me to talk about? Any questions you got for me? Please remember to rate the stream 1 through 10 in the comments. Tell me what you liked about it this time, what you did not like about it. 1 is I would not. I can't believe I took any of your time. 10 is I would give you all my time, Corn Poppy. Oh, Howdy. Okay, I'll show you guys Howdy one more time. Howdy, come here, boy. Yes, the people want to see you, boy. Yeah. Yes, buddy. Yes, the puppy tax is real. Isn't he so pretty, everybody? Isn't he such a pretty man? Wait, Emily 12, you said 6? Why do you say 6? You got to at least tell me why you say 6, you know? That way I can improve on it this time. Jonah L says Cornopticon is always watching 10 out of 10. Jantmore says 10, Junior says 10, Eccentric Dreams 11.5 or 25. Astor says I'll give it 10 corns, puppy 10, and then there's 6. Jantmore says so sweet. That's so nice of you guys. Wait, Emily 12, you gotta tell me why 6 though, because I hate the idea that I gave you a 6 out of 10 experience. That sucks. If you would please let me know before I pop off in the next minute, that would be fantastic. Jonah L says maybe 6 out of 6. I doubt it. I mean, I said the scale, and you know she gave me a 6, so you know there's that. But you know you can't please everyone, I guess. I wonder how many people like watch Hassan stream and is like, oh, this is a 4. Ah, it's a 4. You know, he's hot, whatever. um, Oh, I actually have a question for y'all before I get off. How many of you guys watch me like on TikTok lives when I get on there? I'm just curious, like, because I really enjoy going live on TikTok just because like TikTok has such a huge reach automatically. But you know, well, it's a different experience, as I'm sure you all can imagine. I'm just curious how many of you guys actually see me on there, if any. Hmm. Yeah, if you see my live, maybe. Okay, that's fair. That's totally fair. Um, Let me see here. Eccentric says, I just don't always get alerts for it. So true. Oh, wait, do you guys get alerts for it for YouTube though? Do you guys like literally get like pings to your phone that says Corn Pop is live right now? That's crazy. What the fuck? Oh, you guys get, oh, that's sick. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. Well, thank you guys for you get the push notifications for YouTube. Oh, that's wonderful. Jamor says, I've just caught your streams on TikTok live recently, actually, but I always tune for your YouTube one. Usually listen while I'm editing. Oh, wow. Wait, Astrid, you left Hassan's stream for me? Why? Why the fuck did you do that? That's crazy. Why would you leave Hassan's stream for me? Hassan is like a way more interesting streamer than I am. Unless it's this schnoz and you're just that attracted to it. You know what I mean? First name bunch of numbers says I rang that notification bell. Jonah Ellis says more Samaya collab stream. Samaya and I actually are talking about streaming more together. So I'm glad you brought that up. Junior says Corn Pop versus Hassan Magoff. Yeah, that's fair. Emily 12 says sometimes you just get on some crazy tangents. That's fair. That's very fair, Emily. Emily, what kind of content do you want to see from the stream? Astrid says I've been wanting to make one of these corn hubs. Oh, nice, Astrid. Well, next time you got to pop off in the chat more. That way I can interact with you more one-on-one, you know? Because I try to, part of the reason, guys, that I stream the way I do, where I read all the comments, is because I'm just trying to reward the people who are like constantly commenting, you know, because I feel like that one of the things that I really hate is like that there are streamers who get so big And they do still have their like devotees who are like always commenting like every few seconds. But you know, they're trying to make the stream like maximally enjoyable for everybody, which I totally get to a point. But at the same time, though, like I don't know. I feel like that you kind of got to reward the people who are keeping your stream alive, right? Because like it's probably an 80-20 rule, or like 20% of the commenters are keeping up like with 80% of the conversation. Junior says, I think the user engagement is why I gravitate to your channel so much. Oh, that's wonderful to know. Astrid F says, I'm so sorry. I can't lie. I've been playing Mario Golf. I hope that you're fucking hitting hole in ones then, baby. Chloe Cat says, thank you for rewarding us, Corn Pop. Corn Papa always rewards his kernels. I gotta clip Jonah. I'll clip that part. I'll clip that part and then put that as my intro to my TikToks from now on. I love the fact that y'all quote "You are like Corn Papa" so much. Emily 12 says the interaction in the chat is the best part of the stream. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad, Emily 12. Thank you. First name bunch number says thank you, Corn Poppy. You're welcome, Colonel. Chloe Cat says, oh my God, we're his kernels. Yes, you are. You are all my kernels. You're all my little kernels waiting to have your own corn pop. Jonah L says, have a good night, Corn Poppy. You have a good night too, little kernel. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna pop off for here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on CornHub episode 4. I will see you guys soon. Love you all so much.